When you want wisdom and insight as badly as you want to breathe, it is then you shall have it.
The one exclusive sign of thorough knowledge is the power of teaching.
Are you not ashamed of heaping up the greatest amount of money and honor and reputation, and caring so little about wisdom and truth and the greatest improvement of the soul?
The learning and knowledge that we have is, at the most, but little compared with that of which we are ignorant.
One thing I know, that I know nothing. This is the source of my wisdom.
True wisdom comes to each of us when we realize how little we understand about life, ourselves, and the world around us.
Silence at the proper season is wisdom, and better than any speech.
It is impossible to live a pleasant life without living wisely, and well and justly. And it is impossible to live wisely and well and justly without living a pleasant life.
All human actions have one or more of these 7 causes: chance, nature, compulsions, habit, reason, passion, and desire.
The ideal man bears the accidents of life with dignity and grace, making the best of circumstances.
The very spring and root of honesty and virtue lie in good education.
Worthless people live only to eat and drink. People of worth eat and drink only to live.
Even when laws have been written down, they ought not always to remain unaltered.
There are 2 things a person should never be angry at: what they can help and what they cannot.
Apply yourself both now and in the next life without effort. You cannot be prosperous though the land be good. You cannot have an abundant crop without cultivation.
It is just that we should be grateful, not only to those with whose views we may agree, but also to those who have expressed more superficial views, for these also contributed something by developing before us the powers of thought.
The life of money-making is one undertaken under compulsion, and wealth is evidently not the good we are seeking, for it is merely useful and for the sake of something else.
Anybody can become angry. That is easy, but to be angry with the right person and to the right degree and at the right time and for the right purpose and in the right way, that is not within everybody's power and is not easy.
Nothing is more active than thought, for it travels over the universe, and nothing is stronger than necessity, for all must submit to it.
It is hard to contend against one's heart's desire, for whatever it wishes to have it buys at the cost of soul.
Medicine to produce health must examine disease, and music to create harmony must investigate discord.
You shall, I question not, find a way to the top if you diligently seek for it. For nature hath placed nothing so high that it is out of the reach of industry and valor.
I am not afraid of an army of lions led by a sheep. I am afraid of an army of sheep led by a lion.
No man ever wetted clay and then left it, as if there would be bricks by chance and fortune.
He who is of calm and happy nature will hardly feel the pressure of age, but to him who is of an opposite disposition, youth and age are equally a burden.
I only wish that ordinary people had an unlimited capacity for doing harm. Then they might have an unlimited power for doing good.
The greatest way to live with honor in this world is to be what we pretend to be.
The just man is most free from disturbance, while the unjust is full of the utmost disturbance.
You will never do anything in this world without courage. It is the greatest quality of the mind next to honor.
No man ever steps in the same river twice, for it's not the same river, and he's not the same man.
Moral excellence comes about as a result of habit. We become just by doing just acts, temperate by doing temperate acts, brave by doing brave acts.
True wisdom comes to each of us when we realize how little we understand about life, ourselves, and the world around us.
No human being will ever know the truth, for even if they happened to say it by chance, they would not even know they had done so.
When you are offended at any man's fault, Turn to yourself and study your own failings. Then you will forget your anger.
Good character is not formed in a week or a month. It is created little by little, day by day. Protracted and patient effort is needed to develop good character.
Good people do not need laws to tell them to act responsibly, while bad people will find a way around the laws.
I don't need a friend who changes when I change, and who nods when I nod. My shadow does that much better.
The key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best.
What you leave behind is not what is engraved in stone monuments, but what is woven into the lives of others.
Do not trust all men, but trust men of worth. The former course is silly, the latter a mark of prudence.
Those who educate children well are more to be honored than they who produce them, for these only gave them life, those the art of living well.
When health is absent, wisdom cannot reveal itself. Art cannot manifest, strength cannot fight, wealth becomes useless, and intelligence cannot be applied.
Know thyself art love itself, I repeat. Know thyself art love itself, and that anything else is an abstraction at best, and suffering at worst.
The Republic isn't as much fun as the symposium. It's all long speeches, and nobody bursting in drunk to woo Socrates in the middle.
There is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will.
You don't develop courage by being happy in your relationships every day. You develop it by surviving difficult times and challenging adversity.
It is the mark of an educated mind to be able to entertain a thought without accepting it.
Happiness is the meaning and the purpose of life, the whole aim and end of human existence.
Those who are too smart to engage in politics are punished by being governed by those who are dumber.
Get not your friends by bare compliments, but by giving them sensible tokens of your love.
The ultimate value of life depends upon awareness and the power of contemplation rather than upon mere survival.
It is not what you do, but how you do it, that counts.
The greater the difficulty, the more glory in surmounting it.
The most powerful weapon on earth is the human soul on fire.
The aim of the wise is not to secure pleasure, but to avoid pain.
Nature never deceives us. It is always we who deceive ourselves.
Throw moderation to the winds, and the greatest pleasures bring the greatest pains.
The mind is not a vessel to be filled, but a fire to be kindled.
We must free ourselves of the hope that the sea will ever rest. We must learn to sail in high winds,